Welcome back to New Day Northwest. It is the end of an era for Boeing and the 747. After 50 years, the final plane flew out of Everett, delivered to Atlas Air. For 50 years, the plane, dubbed the Queen of the Skies, flew all over the world for numerous airlines. King 5's aviation reporter Kristin Goodwillie shares the impact this plane has had on our region and the workers who put her together.
Down. I look at it and I just am drawn to it.
It's considered the plane that changed travel around the world.
1, 2, 3.
Artist Jeff Barlow was a child when the 747 came out.
Every time that plane gets to the end of the runway, I'm like, come on, lift off, and it does.
He keeps a sketchbook with him wherever he goes.
I love to draw with a pencil. It has an energy to it that nothing else has.
Now sitting under Boeing's first Superjet, he's been sketching the last 747 for Boeing as it prepares for delivery.
Well, the 747 for sure. It's my favorite plane in the whole world.
Let's walk back through the airplane here.
Seattle Museum of Flight docent Thomas Gray remembers watching the 747's first test flight.
It's a very easily flyable airplane.
And all of a sudden you see this huge mass in the air. It was just unbelievable. This was one of the earlier models.
More than 50 years later, Gray guides museum goers through this massive plane.
Of course, here's the brains of the airplane.
Telling the history of how this plane came to be.
It was an incredible story.
It took 50,000 men and women to design and complete the 747. They were deemed the Incredibles.
Thousands of men and women that actually spent their heart and soul in conceiving and building this airplane.
Would you say that you put your heart and soul into it as well?
I'd like to think so.
Before the museum, Gray was a test flight engineer for Boeing.
We were the data gatherers for the 747 test airplane.
The patch on his jacket, #1 for the #1 747.
At the time, we were doing a job.
February 25th, 1969, Gray went on one of the first test flights.
But it wasn't until the 747 actually went into service that we realized that it was going to be a game changer in the world.
Not only did this jet make it economically feasible for average people to fly, but they could go wherever they wanted in the world.
It just captured the world's imagination, and that was the source of that was right here in our area.
This plane put Western Washington on the map as an aviation powerhouse. Boeing employed thousands of people, growing the community. In late 1969,
I think I was 32 then.
Ebony magazine published this picture of Gray working on the jet.
When it first came out, the press called it jumbo. They called her jumbo. They've called her wide body. Boeing called her the Superjet.
The name she's most known by came a bit later and stuck.
The Queen of the Skies is the proper nomenclature for this airplane.
The Queen of the Sky is no longer in production. Her delivery and eventual last ascent from Everett on the horizon.
Sad isn't quite the right word because, I think part of the magic is that it's finite.
With the last shadowing finished, Barlow is intent on documenting the final 747 as it's delivered.
It just feels really, really important to me.
It was quite a thrill to be on a 747.
The Queen of the Sky is expected to fly for many more decades.
Pretty cool. Kristin is joining me now. So there are a few of them still left in the sky, right?
That's right, and they are expected to fly for decades. So, if you want to see one, either go to the museum to see the first one or look up at the skies, essentially.
It's amazing because the Incredibles, the original 747 engineers, tell me more about them. That was really cool that you got to meet.
I was very excited to meet this incredible. Tom Gray was amazing. He had a million stories about the test flights and just even landing a plane once they landed it, and they had gone through a hailstorm, and so the entire front windshield was completely cracked. They landed it with just the side windshield,
Whoa.
the pilot looking in. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I mean, he flew with the most famous pilots, right, in the 747, the 3 Ws. He flew with all of them. But I mean, I think that's what draws everybody to the 747, right, is because you talk to anyone in Western Washington and they know if they are a certain generation, they can tell you exactly where they were when they saw that first flight or one of the test flights. Like, people were stopping on the side of the freeway to watch it.
It's a sense of pride. Now when I see the 777X fly over my house, I'm like, everybody stop, look. It's a sense of pride. It's so amazing to see something so big in the sky. And speaking of size, that big empty space now in Everett, what are they going to do with it?
Right, so that's the big question. I know they're doing the 777 there. That was their answer when I asked a couple weeks ago. And essentially they have said that they are not going to build another airplane for another decade. And so we don't know if that would be in this space, but it is a huge space that they built for the 747. And now that it's not there, what do we do? It's actually what it was at, I believe, still, it is the largest factory in the world.
Largest and indoor space.
Right,
It's amazing. Before I let you go, I understand your husband's a pilot, your father's a pilot, your husband's father was a pilot, but you are a drone pilot for our TV station. Tell us a little bit about that.
I do. I love flying. I grew up flying in small Cessnas and whatnot. And yeah, our pilot program, they said, do you want to be a drone pilot? And I said, yeah. And it's a fun way and really adds to the video quality, and it's fun to get in the skies. And then also, I always tell pilots, I feel like it's telling a developer that I play with Legos, but they laugh and say that's not true.
No,
I mean, it's a test that you have to take.
It's a big deal. And our drone is not just some small little thing. I mean, it's Dexter. Is it still called Dexter? Well, it used to be. It was big. It is big. Thank you so much, Kristin. It is a pleasure chatting with you, and thank you for sharing that story. We hope to talk to you again soon about the future of aviation here. Meantime,